by Sandra Gohani. Ms Maguire.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Dying isn't something that most of us want to talk about, but we must. As policymakers, we have a responsibility to all our citizens from cradle to grave. I think the cradle bit is easy to talk about, doing all we can to make sure every life born here arrives in safety, comfort and love. It's not everything, but the box of essentials to help parents keep each new Scottish baby warm and safe. The baby box is a good reflection of that wish for an equal start. The end of life we're maybe not as good at, maybe it doesn't have the same feel-good factor. But we can't ignore inequity at the end of life. We must have our eyes open. Something that the joint study and exhibition Dying in the Margins, undertaken by the University of Glasgow and Marie Curie, helps us do very well. I am very grateful to them for their work, and particularly in all of the research participants. And I welcome everyone to the gallery. This first-of-its-kind study, examining barriers to and experiences of dying at home for people living in poverty, shares the direct experience of participants through Margaret Mitchell's images and the participants' own words. It is hugely powerful. I'm grateful to Evelyn Tweed for sponsoring the exhibition here in Parliament, and also want to thank Paul O'Kane for securing cross-party support and bringing this important topic to our chamber, giving us all the opportunity to contribute to the important debate. I thought his speech was very thoughtful and a good start for us. Members' debates in here can be quite small affairs, particularly after FMQs, but I would want everyone, particularly those in the gallery, to know that this can be the start of something and not just an event in itself. Paul, in opening, spoke about Max. Marie's story struck me, I think maybe perhaps because she was the same age as I was, and I would reflect on the quite different experience that I had personally, having a serious illness to that of Marie. Marie specifically spoke about taxi costs getting to her treatment. I was fortunate to have a family member move in and take the specific task of running me to hospital. It made treatment a lot easier. In my area, in Ayrshire, we have an excellent charity called Ayrshire Troon and Cancer Care, who provide that service for people who don't have it. But I think it reflects that kind of, I don't like the term postcode lottery, but the different experiences that folk have. And I don't think we should be relying on specific location charities to make sure that patients can fully take part in their treatment. It would be interesting to hear the government's reflection on that. I would say I support all the asks in the Marie Curie briefing. I think there are things, as well as actions for both governments to do in terms of finance. There are probably policy things that can be done more promptly. Paul spoke about the aids and adaptations. Again, I would reflect that that's something that action could be taken on now. Personally, I've had experience of a constituent coming for assistance where she'd been injured falling down the stairs. She's had the aid and adaptation done in her bathroom, but not on the stairwell yet, making recovery really quite challenging. We can all imagine how bad that would be. It's a very short speaking time that we have, Presiding Officer, and I know we want to hear from everybody. So I would just say that I will commit to work with others on this topic, and certainly will go to my local authority and health and social care partnership and see if there are those policy changes that can happen promptly and make people's lives a bit better. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms Maguire.